Good morning, everyone. How about an episode of Smiles in a Box? I feel like smiling. But before I smile, I do want to give y'all this little bit of tea. Remember the lady who was taking credit for our community Curbside Library and Pantry? Well, yesterday she texted me and she sent me 2 texts yesterday. One, it was no hello, how you doing, no greeting or anything. It was just a flyer. And on the flyer, it was a flyer about the community holiday celebration up at the community center. Now, mind you, I wasn't going to go anyway. It had nothing to do about her taking credit for the senior boxes. You know, as you all know, that I don't celebrate the holidays. So I'm not going to, go and celebrate the holidays with the community when I don't celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas. That's just how I feel about it. And then she sent me a message maybe 5 minutes after that because she probably saw that I had read, or looked at the flyer. You can tell when someone reads your messages. So she said, again, no thank you, no hello, no how you doing? None of that. It was just, can y'all donate a box of goodies for a community giveaway? And can you put your information inside of it? Now, that put your information inside of it was a way to basically just manipulate me into doing what it was she wanted me to do. Now, mind you, I haven't talked to her since this whole issue with these boxes. I'm about done with her, I think that for the most part, honestly, that some of her heart is in a good place. I do think that she is about her community. I do. I just think that she has a really nosy but busybody spirit. And I think she's a shit stirrer. You know how you have those people, that want to be, we don't have an HOA over in this community. And, but if we did, she'd definitely be the president of it. And she'd be one of those presidents that would try to micromanage all the residents. And you know what I'm saying? You left your trash cans out this evening and, she's just that kind of person. So that whole thing that happened with the community, remember that flyer and when they were kind of mean to me at the community center, she made that out to be such a much bigger deal than it had to be. It wasn't that big a deal. I went there. They were rude to me. My husband addressed it. We moved on and we left it alone. And she, busybody that she is, she just started talking about it, making a mountain out of a molehill. And it wasn't. We are not those kinds of people. We're very, very keep to ourselves type of people. We don't do that. And I told my husband from day one that I really didn't like her because her spirit rubbed mine the wrong way. So mind you, I didn't respond to those messages. My husband said, don't feel guilty about that. We do a community giveaway every single day. And he said, and if people want to know where to come and get things that they need, they know where to come and get those things that they need. And I was like, you're absolutely right. So I left it on alone. This morning I roll over, I grab my phone, see what's what. Take in the news, and she the first person on my phone talking about something that don't have nothing to do with her. So I blocked her. Yeah, I blocked her. She's I hope that she gets her mission aligned with her spirit. It is, again, it's like one of my followers did say, some people want to give the impression that they are givers and doers and helpers, and really they are not. They're basically just nosy busybodies, and that's definitely who she is to her core. But I really do think that she means well underneath it all. She just gotta grow the fuck up. But she ain't gonna use me to do it. How about that? But in the meantime, in between time, we got some boxes. Let's get to it. I just wanted to catch y'all up and let y'all know what was happening. But we're going to say a little prayer for her and hope she get it together, right? Amen. I am so excited to get these. Who sent this? Karen Sheets. Karen Sheets, you have been on a shopping spree lately, haven't you? These are the shelves that, because our new pantry, which is almost ready to go. I know I've been saying that for weeks now, but it's almost ready to go. I wanted to stick these in there, but I wanted to wait until I got these and some baskets, so that I can contain things. Because while that pantry is wider, it's not as tall, and so it only has like 2 shelf spaces and that drawer. So down at the bottom, we will be able to put things like diapers and deodorant. You know, I wanted baskets for those, you know, so I can contain the deodorants, men, women, shampoo, shower gel, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Then on the other side of that, put dog food and cat food. And then, you know, because the idea behind these is if you put them on the shelf, you can sit something on top and then something can go on the bottom. And so you can maximize your space. And that was why I wanted these. Thank you so much, Karen. I really do appreciate those. Let's get to our next box, y'all. There's no name in here either. It says, enjoy your gift. That's all it says. Look at what's in here. Oh my God. Paint by numbers. I put some of these on the list for the seniors, you know, to put into their boxes, you know, to give them something to do, you know, crossword puzzles, a throw. Who did this? We gotta know. Come on now. Please step forward. It's 3 of them in here too. Please step forward. Please step forward. Okay, let's get to our next box. Oh, I know exactly what these are. Again, very ideal for the seniors. Let's get our... These are those Hormel meals, because you know, when you're young, we don't think a lot about the seniors, especially if we don't have grandparents, or if we have grandparents that we do not visit. It's very hard for them to manage, and standing over a stove cooking a meal, it's just not ideal for them anymore. But they can take these, look and see. And they can put these in the microwave for 2 minutes. And this one here is turkey and dressing. You know, they're different ones. And also too, you know, when I have enough to put into the pantry, because I used to put them in the pantry, but I don't anymore. I save them for the senior boxes. And I've got a couple deliveries to do today, speaking of which. They're good for mothers on the go, anyone on the go, you know, young guys with jobs, single mothers. Because one thing about single mothers, you know, I was a single mother, and the way you pour your everything into your kids, to sometimes, you know, you just don't have time to think about yourself or worry about yourself, because you spend so much time just making sure they're straight. And so we forget about ourselves a lot. This one is chicken Alfredo. Who sent this? And so if they can say, oh, I forgot, it says a gift. Enjoy your gift. And so when they're driving down the street after they drop the kids off from school, because there are a couple schools and a couple daycares just walking distance from my house even. Excuse me. And they can say, hey, I can stop by that pantry and see what they got in there that's good on the go, you know. Yesterday was the first day that we put those Slim Jims in there, and they did very well. The kids... Excuse me. Speaking of which... And a paint by numbers. This is one of the ones I put on the list. Excuse me. There's no name in here. I gotta know who sent that. Y'all gotta. I hope you're watching. Please tell me who you are. Please tell me who you are. But anyways, yesterday was the first day that I put the Slim Jims in there. I restocked the pantry yesterday at 3 o'clock. If I restock the pantry in the morning, excuse me, let me go. I have to go stoke my fire real quick. That's why it's so, it's smoky in here. Okay, usually it's my asthma that gets to me, but it's the smoke, because when the fire starts to die down, it can cause a lot of smoke, and that's what's going on in here. So yesterday was the first day that we put in the Slim Jims, and those did really well. Yesterday I restocked the pantry. Sometimes I have to do a few restocks, but 3 o'clock is really the ideal time to do it, because if I do it in the morning, you do have a couple of people who will come in and they will clean out everything that's really meant for the school kids. Not necessarily just completely meant for them, but they won't have any like juice in there. They won't have any snacks in there, because one person will come out and they will say, oh, she's stocked up on the snacks, let me take them all. Or, oh, she's stocked up on the juice, let me take every single one of them. And there'll be nothing left for the kids, which again, it's cool, because I only put so many of everything in there. But right around 3 o'clock every day, I don't even know if I should have said that, because I'm pretty sure that there are people in my community that are watching these videos. The person that I was talking about, I'm certain she watches. I don't know how they got there, but they're there. But I prefer they wouldn't be, but it's nothing I can do. You know what I'm saying? It's a YouTube channel. But anyway, those went over really well. You know what else the kids like that I didn't realize they liked? Because typically they're gone by the time the kids come through. And yesterday I had a lot because I did a restock at 3 o'clock. But they like those ramen noodles. And I told my husband, I said, that's surprising to me. And my husband was like, well, kids, they like ramen noodles. And I don't know, I just never thought about it. But I guess I should have, because my youngest one used to really love ramen noodles. It wasn't something that I bought, necessarily as a parent. I mean, I did once my aunt introduced them to him, because, she had like a lot of kids. So ramen noodles saved her on many a day. And when my kids would go over there, they would eat ramen noodles, I give her a little, grocery money and everything. And plus I paid her for keeping my kids too. But my youngest son was like, I really like these. Can you buy these? And so I buy them time to time from him. So I guess I should have known. Carl Cordell. I know exactly who that is. Carl Cordell sent us I had to have a little discussion with Mr. Cordell about engaging in conversations that was not meant for him. And that doesn't mean, and then I guess he just stopped engaging altogether. That doesn't mean, when I say this isn't your conversation, I'm not saying, hey, you can't participate in any conversation. If that's the way you want to handle it, then that's the way you want to handle it. I make no apologies for being pro-black over here. The thing of it is when I'm talking to black people, I think that a lot of people who are just not very, very self-aware do not understand that these conversations are for Black people. You can listen to the context of the conversation and tell I'm addressing Black people. I hate that, that's the way you feel about it, but you don't have to not participate in conversations. It just means that this particular conversation where I am addressing my community isn't for you. And y'all, y'all gotta dig deep, and y'all have to start understanding that why Black people need conversations. It is racism is the reason why Black people have to have these rooms and spaces to just talk to each other. And when y'all interrupt that dialogue, it can become very frustrating for us. And it is extremely unfair for people of other communities to enter into those spaces and those conversations when we are trying to figure out our shit or are discussing our issues. What could you possibly have to add to that anyway? It's one thing when I'm having a discussion that, where it's not centered around Blackness, but when I'm having a discussion that's centered around Blackness, me personally, I would think that would be common sense. And, it's not always. This is a wonderful thing that you sent, though. Look. These are the little lunches to go. That is amazing. It's got a little napkin in here, a little spoon in here, and crackers and tuna. I think that is amazing. I don't think that I will be putting this in the senior boxes. I think that I will just be putting this in the pantry. For, like I said, people who are on the go. Our mailman uses the pantry. Our UPS man uses the pantry. Other delivery people use the pantry. My ship shopper sometimes uses the pantry. There are lots of people who are on the go who uses the pantry. And Mr. Carl Cordell, I thank you so much for buying these. I really wanted these for the pantry. This is our last box. It's water. It's water. Is there any water left in the pantry? Now that I think about it, oh, we do have one more box up underneath there. Who sent this? We do not know. If you sent that, let us know. This is another, let me see, Star Kids to go, and it was probably, oh no, this is the same box. Same box, but it's cut up and everything. So yeah, we're done unboxing everything. So I thank every single one of your generous hearts for helping and contributing and donating. I really honestly could not do this without you all. It's very important. I would also like to encourage people, if you live in a community where you have that need, get started. Even if you do it with just a little cabinet that you find off of the Dollar Tree, not the Dollar Tree, but the Facebook Marketplace, and you just want to get started, and you just want to put some things in there and put some books in there and get going, I think that is just a great place to start. It's not as, I just happen to have a built-in following, and do you know most of the people who contribute to the Curbside Library and Pantry are not all of the followers from TikTok. A lot of them are new people who found me right here and just said, hey, I want to help with that. And they helped out. Honey, start you a channel. Get you some people who think the way you do and believe the way you do, that are true helpers with generous, kind hearts and spirit. They'll help you. They really will. I am always in shock and in awe and amazed at the generosity of complete strangers. And I know it's hard for some of us to grasp, because some days it's hard for me to grasp. Because I know a lot of us have family members that don't support us. And we have friends that don't support us. But I think that a lot of people, that is their experience. And those are the people that help the most. Either them, those types of people, or people who have been there, have been in a tough spot, and they know how something like this could have helped them in those moments. You can do it. And with the landscape of this nation changing the way that it is, it's going to be needed now more than ever, particularly in marginalized communities. Black communities especially. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day. And I love every single last one of you. I do. Even when I have to say something difficult to you. It is really with love. Have a good day.